Listen, folks, it is Sunday the 5th, and I am laying in bed in a lot of pain. You see, when I was 14, I was at summer camp, and to impress a young lady, I dove after a frisbee while playing ultimate frisbee. If you don't know, ultimate frisbee is basically like soccer, but with frisbees. And it's one of those throws where that frisbee just kind of floats in front of you. So I dove to catch it, landed on both my wrist and one of my elbows, and I flipped over and bent sideways, and while my face was buried in the dirt, my back of my ankles was touching the ground. So if you can imagine that, I was twisted like a pretzel, because normally your toes would hit the ground in this position. And I really messed up my back, but being a 14-year-old guy who thought he was tougher than the world, I went horseback riding the next day. Probably the worst decision of my life. We were learning to ride English horses and post, yeah. A couple years ago, I had my back MRI'd, and I do have 2 bulging and 2 disintegrating discs. The doctor at the time told me surgery would only be 50-50 chance of success, and you could not repeat the surgery due to the nature of it. Okay. He also said the back would not get worse until I was probably about 60 years old, when the disc possibly might start deteriorating. So his advice was stay in the pain you're in until you're about 60 and then see if you want surgery. So I was not very happy about that, and I've waited a few years hoping that surgery will improve, and I was going to go get my back reevaluated, but I haven't had a chance yet, and then whatever happened, happened. The other day I was moving some furniture and dropped a printer on my head, trying to catch an aquarium from falling on the ground. I had to move the printer to move the aquarium to make sure it didn't fall on the ground and shatter and get water and my turtle everywhere. And I couldn't get up because I was in a tight space, so I had to move the printer first to make room to get up. And I tried to lift the printer over my head, and it slipped out of my hands, and I don't know, you can't really see it now, but I hit myself right there in the head, and it was a pretty hard hit. Not too heavy a printer, but hit right on the corner, so it was a very small impact point with a decent amount of weight, and although I didn't see stars or anything, it certainly jarred me a bit, and I felt kind of sick to my stomach. Fortunately, I did not get a concussion or anything, but nonetheless, I don't think that has anything to do with my back, considering how it hit and how I was sitting, but maybe. Anyway, the pain in my back for the past couple of days has been intense. Today, it's a bit better. Yesterday was better. The day before, I couldn't even stand up. I mean, literally, I could barely get out of bed and onto my feet, but I couldn't straighten my back. Today I'm able to hobble around a bit, but I don't know what the hell I did. It hurts worse today than it has probably since I actually originally hurt my back when I was 14. So, as you can tell, I'm still laughing about it. Hurts like hell, but I'm not down in spirits. Just want to let everybody know that I'm still out here. I have some videos planned. I want to film them. I'm just having this mobility issue at the moment. So, just wanted to put this up. It's not very exciting. I doubt many people will want to watch this boring video. So I added the lighting effects from this light bulb I have that changes colors just to make it a tad bit more interesting. Anyway, I'm going to try to get up in just a minute and get something to eat because I have failed to do so today. Listen, everybody, don't hurt yourselves.